Restream bot was up. Oh nah, bro, that's just the actual bot. Oh wait, Katsu. Oh yeah. Johnny, that's actually saved. So the Restream bot is retweeting what he said on YouTube. That's on YouTube, on Twitch, because you're on YouTube, so you're seeing what he's saying on Twitch. Because I'm streaming on different sites. Why my shit just bug out like this? Alright, there we go. Hold on. Yeah, you gotta read what it says like in the brackets. So it'll say Twitch and then Katsu, and that's Katsu save on. So let's see. So let's see. Another one cleans the first. Another one cleans the first and second. Okay. So let's see. How long does it? So 30 to so minutes. Did Peter Lawrence tell you that he was held up in the stairs? Yes, he was cleaning something on the stairs. Have you seen the spillage on the floor? No, I was downstairs all the time. Oh, so he was the third guy. Did you see him cleaning it? No, he told me that later, when he came down after discovering the body. Huh? Did you see him cleaning it? No, he told me that later when he came down after discovering the body. Did any of the other two cleaners saw anything unusual? Not that I know of. How often do you clean here? Twice a week. Monday and Thursdays. Huh? Wait, am I tripping here? Do twice a week. Yeah, alright. Let me continue on now. So it's always during the night. Yes. Do you have keys to the offices in the building? No, the cleaners take the keys from the night porter. Alright. So let me see here. What time have you started working today? Okay, so 10 p.m. as usual. So everybody's gonna say 10 p.m. So we just gonna ignore some of this. What floors were you working on? He's the first and second floor guy. Where have you started? On? So he started on the first floor, and then used the stairs to climb the second floor. Yep. What time was that around? I don't know. About 10:30, I guess. Maybe a few minutes past. Have you seen anyone on the stairs? No, only Peter Lawrence. Bam. One. That's already one. You see that? That's already one. You met him on the stairs? Not really. I heard him. We usually get around the same. We usually get around the same times to the stairs, so I heard him vacuum. And when I finished my part of the stairs, I heard him swearing while he was scrubbing something. Okay, so he at least confirming that then. But you haven't seen him. No, he was somewhere higher than the second floor. And did you hear shots fired? No. Have you heard anyone using the lift while you were cleaning? Nope. Do you have the keys to the office on the higher floor? No. Each of us get only the keys he needs to access the offices he will be cleaning. Do you always clean those two floors? Yes, usually. But not always? No. Once or twice, I was cleaning the top floors when Peter Lawrence was sick. When was it? I don't remember. 6 months, maybe 7 weeks ago. Have you ever met anyone from 412? Yeah, one guy, real chatterbox. What were you talking about? Just small talk. You know, just shooting the shit, shooting the breeze. Was he alone? Yeah, he was just leaving the floor when I finished the stairs. When was that exactly? Not sure, a few weeks ago. And it was late night? Yeah, as usual, between 11 p.m. and midnight. When you cleaned the office 412 that night, there was nobody there? Huh? Between 11 and 12 and midnight. Between 11 p.m. and midnight? Maybe I'm actually reading that time wrong then. I'll look that up later, see what military time that is. Like, what? I think because I think I messed up somewhere there. Because I could have sworn I thought 11. I could have thought 23 was 11. But, we'll keep it moving. Daryl Barber. So this is at 12. Yeah, it's at 12 because. Wait, does that mean I'm off an hour? I think I am. I'll look it up in a little bit. But let's see, which part of the building were you cleaning tonight? The ground floor and the lobby. Have you seen? Okay. Not that I know of. Your boss, Rose Redwood, was he here all the time? Think so, he usually does. Okay. But have you seen him in the lobby? Yes, he was chatting with the guard. Do you always clean the ground floor? Yes. Have you cleaned the top floor? Okay, so nope, he didn't. So have you ever met someone from Office 412? I don't think so. Did you ever stumble upon anyone leaving the office late? It happens, but rarely. So you might have met someone from 412. I guess, but people usually just pass as... You just pass by as we... So they pass by like we don't exist. So I wouldn't know. Ooh, this one's gonna be a good... This gonna be a good case. Because I'm already getting confused. Alright, let me look this up. Yeah, I'm gonna look this up real quick. I don't know why I did that. It's cool. So let's see, 23 military time. Yeah, I was right. Okay, that is 11. I'm not tripping. Yeah, because it's that 24 just goes to 0. Okay, I was about to say, I'm not tripping. Alright. So we got Daryl Barber. Which part of the floor were you cleaning tonight? Wait, didn't I just do this one? Oh yeah, I did. I'm bugging. Ben Westbrook. This is who we're on. So what time you started your shift? He started at 6 p.m. Do you always work the night shift? Yeah. Did anyone enter the building from 6 p.m. to the arrival of the cleaners? Oh, he's a night porter. Okay. Bugging. That's why he's there early. Yes, there was one delivery of the parcel from about 6:30 p.m. Do you have the parcel? Yes, it's under my desk in the lobby. And apart from that, had a little yawn there. And apart from that, did someone else come into the building? Not through the main entrance. Okay, so. And where's the other entrance? The staircase has doors leading to the parking. Yeah, I know. I asked you where this shit was, not like. And plus, it's like 2 staircases, man. Alright, so let's see. And they are open the whole day? No, until 5 p.m. At 5 p.m. they are closed by the porter. So after 5 p.m. there isn't a way to enter the building through the parking door. There is, each office has a key from the door in case they work late, so they could let themselves out. Okay. Okay. And have you checked if the doors were closed when you started the shift? I always do. Sure about that? No, I'm kidding. But so and they were closed? Yes. You were in the lobby the whole time? No. I was doing the rounds at 8 p.m. and just before 10 p.m. During that time, could someone enter through the main entrance? No, the doors were locked the whole time until the arrival of the cleaners. Open it only to take the parcel. Do you know anyone from the office 412? Not really. I know they sometimes work late once or twice. I check if someone was actually there, to make sure if they just haven't left the lights on and went home. And was there anyone? Yeah, tall guy. He was alone? Yeah, he was working on a computer in one of the offices. And you haven't met anyone else from 412? No, I don't think so. When you were checking on 412, if there was someone inside, were the doors to the office closed? No, the doors to the corridor were open. Yes. And do you also make rounds at 8 p.m. and 10 p.m.? Yes, and later at 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. Wait, why not midnight? I don't know. That's the company's policy. I have to finish the 10 p.m. around early to let the cleaners in. They always arrive at 10 p.m. and clean for about 2 hours. So I guess my boss thought it was no point in making the rounds while the cleaners are in. Okay. That sounds pretty dumb in the grand scheme of things. So around midnight is when Dude could actually make his escape. Because by the time Dude discovers it at 12, he's pretty much leaving. So let's see here. Victim's wife. See, when was the last time you spoke to your husband? Before he left the house, I phoned his office around 10:30, but there was no answer. Did he mention he was going to work late that night? No, he never did. You often call him at work? No. Wait, so why did you call him today? Lately, we argue a lot. I never knew he was going to return home. What did you argue about? I thought he had an affair. Why would you think that? He rarely returned home straight from work. Even when he sometimes returned early, he seemed to be avoiding me. When I asked where he was or what he was doing, he usually just brushed me off that he was working late. And was he? I don't know. When I sometimes phoned his office, all I got was the answering machine straight away. Damn. Today was the same? No, today the phone just kept ringing, but no one answered. Huh? Did you visit your husband in the office? No, I was never in their office. But wow, I don't know. I never felt the need, really. Was there anything else that was suggesting that he had an affair? Well, our marriage was lately. He became secretive. We seemed to live completely separate lives, so I just assumed that he was seeing someone else. But if he had an affair, do you have any idea who he might have been seeing? No, I don't. Maybe someone he met at work. Did your husband have any enemies? No. Did you or your husband ever have firearms? No. What do you know about your husband's company? Not much. They sell software to customers, but I was never good with computers, so I don't really know anything about the details. But do you know anything about their financial situation? No, my husband never talked about the company with me. Okay, and what do you do for a living? Now I'm a housewife. I used to work as an administrative worker in a power plant. What do you know about people your husband worked with? I met Stuart Clark a few times, but I didn't like him. We hardly ever spoke to each other. I know nothing about the others. Why ain't you like the dude? I don't know. He seemed a bit sleazy. You know, at first I thought he was quite nice, but with time I realized he is very obnoxious. Why is that? I don't know. It's just a feeling when he was around that deep inside he is an unpleasant person. Did your husband have life insurance? I don't know. If he did, he never told me about that. Where were you 10:30 p.m. yesterday? At home. I already told you I tried to phone my husband around that time. Is there anyone who can verify that? No, we live alone. We don't have any kids. Okay. I mean, technically we could put her as a suspect, but I mean, how does she get past all them cleaners, man? I don't think she got the jokes like that. She ain't mentioned anything about like exercising once. So Jimmy McCollin, day shift porter. You had the day shift yesterday? Yep. Where hours do you work? 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. You spoke to Ben Westbrook today? Yes, he told me what happened last night. Do you know people from 412? Yeah, I know Stuart Clark. How do you know him? We grew up on the same street. We rep the same set. And you still are mates, huh? Maybe not mates, but we at least affiliates. Sometimes it comes down during the day and we'll catch up on some stuff. Oh, no, he said sometimes he comes down during the day and we'll catch up on stuff. What can you tell me about him? He's a smooth talker, smooth operator. He used to sell stuff on the market when he was young. What stuff? Anything. Watches, books, carports. Like weed, ecstasy, pill. No, I'm kidding. He didn't do all that. But he knows a guy. But if he don't know it, he know a guy to get it though. Like, have you ever seen him yesterday leaving the building? Yesterday, no. He must have left through the parking exit. What about Reese Young? Not really. He said good morning or goodbye while passing my desk. And that's all. What about the employees? The young one is nice. Alice Reed. What about Therese Ferrant? Like Reese Young, she hardly spoke to me at all. Yesterday, you locked the parking door. Yes, and usually at 5 p.m. What about the keys? The workers for the. Okay. Each office has one. So, when was the last time you spoke to Reese Young? Yesterday, just before 5 p.m. And where was that? In his office? I was just on my way home. I stepped by his office just to say, see you tomorrow or something like that. And what mood was he? What do you mean? Did he seem worried, anxious, happy? It was hard to tell with him. He seemed as usual. What do you mean as usual? Well, he was rather standoffish, you know. He spent most days in his office, rarely spoke to others. He wasn't a people person, I'm not gonna lie to you. That's why he needed me in the business. In what way? Reese was a good software engineer, but he was hopeless in contracts and customers, trying to get the sales going, you know. He needed a smooth talker, smooth operator. So while he took care of the technical side, I was taking care of marketing and customers. Did he mention he was expecting visitors later? Nope. Where were you around 10:30 p.m.? At home. Can anyone verify it? That night I was alone. I never found a woman that would make me change my lifestyle. Okay. What do you mean? You know what I mean. Nah, you gotta say it for the report. So what do you mean? Well, we're all men of the world. Let's just say that I just don't get attached to women for too long. Did you ever have a firearm, man? Me? Nah, never. What exactly? Okay, so what exactly did you do yesterday? Told you I was at home. The whole time. Yeah. The actual whole time. And so you left the office about 5 p.m. What time have you reached home? What? Yeah, what time have you reached your home? About an hour later. I don't know why I said you left the office. I'm tripping. So let's see. What did you do from 6 p.m. until midnight? I cooked myself a dinner. Spent the rest of the time in front of the telly. What was on? I watched the news. Oh yeah, I put Goodfellas on VHS. You know, got put on. And then what? I don't know. And then what? Oh yeah. I remember now. I fell asleep close to the end, and when I woke up, it was past midnight when I went to bed. What will happen to the company now that Reese Young is dead? I will take over his shares. That was the clause in the agreement. Wait, what about his wife? What about the broad? She wasn't getting anything? No, we're both the owners. Now, I will run the whole show. I'm the king now. Do you have knowledge to take over his part of the work? No. I'll have to hire someone to replace him for sure. But I don't think it will be that much of a problem. Did you know anything about Reese Young having an affair? No, maybe he had. But even then, I don't think he would tell me about it. Wait, why? We keep our work lives and business lives separate from the... Yeah, separate. But now that you mention it, perhaps he was seeing someone. That would explain why he was always staying behind in the office. Do you think he might have had an affair with someone from the office? I mean, Alice Reed is out of the question. He was old enough to be her father. And Therese Ferrant? I don't know. They were both so uptight. It's hard to tell what they really thought. You don't like her? You don't like her, do you? Nah. It's not that I don't like her. It's just, she's just, you know, not someone I would like to spend time with. She's a good accountant, though. But Reese Young, who knows? Maybe there was something between them. Did Reese Young often work late? It happened from time to time. Was he always alone? What do you mean? Did anyone, including you, ever work late? A few times I had to when we were starting the business, but lately there wasn't any need for that. So why did he stay late? His work was different. Sometimes he had to fix something and it was urgent, so he did it late. What about Alice Reed or Teresa Ferrant? I think Teresa Ferrant was working late yesterday, but I don't know how long. The secretary never stayed late. Who has the keys to your office? We all have. Also, the porter downstairs have the keys to all the offices in the building. Alright. So now we got Alice Reed here. Oh, the reason why I'm not reading those dates off is because these are the interviews, so it kind of is not gonna come into play like that. It'd be one thing if another murder like happened in the mix of it, then like yeah, but yeah. But anyway, shoot, man, Alice Reed, she was a bombshell. That's a type of woman you would call a succubus. Although she got her work done, she made sure she got her work done. And do you in just like a femme fatale. These are many cases that I see on the regular. Oh yeah, and disclaimer, I'm not saying that's like all women or trying to like offend all women. Like we don't do that here. Just trying to get into that noir like mode. But anyway, when is the last time you spoke to Reese Young? Yesterday when I was leaving the office. How did he seem to you? Normal, nothing usual. Okay, why do y'all all keep saying that? What does that mean? Well, he had his quirks. He always seemed preoccupied with something and lived in his own world. And what do you mean preoccupied? Most of the time he spent in his office behind closed doors. But even if he stepped into the front office, he seemed to be miles away. Did he mention he was expecting any visitors? No. How long have you been working in this office? 2 years. I said this office, but Arbitrage Digital. And do you like the work? Yes, Stuart Clark is funny. They pay well enough, so... And did you like Reese Young? He was nice, but I don't know how to explain it. Distant. So were you never really close? No, we hardly... Oh, he hardly ever spoke to me. And if he did, it was usually only work-related conversations. How about Therese Ferrant? She's very strict and rather stiff, but I'll get by. What? Anyway, she doesn't bother me during the day. Did you ever have a firearm? No, never. Do you know anyone who would want to kill Reese Young? Do you think he had any enemies? I wouldn't know. He hardly ever spoke to me. Where were you at 10:30 p.m.? I was out with friends. Where exactly? We went to the bar, the Wooden Horse, and we spent there the whole evening. We left sometime after. Okay, so sometime after midnight they left. Can't even one verify it. You can ask Faith Hockley. We were together the whole time. How does the answer machine in the office work? When we finish work, I switch off the board, and from the moment all incoming calls go straight into the answer machine. and all the outgoing calls are blocked. And you switched it on in the morning. And yesterday you switched the soundboard off. I think so. Can you check? It's on. Perhaps I forgot yesterday. I'm watching. I'm watching. So, let's see. So yesterday, the incoming calls would not go to the answer machine. No. It's possible that Reese Young would switch it on the board when you left. Yes, he knew how to do it. Do you have the keys to 412? Yes, we all have. What about the key to the door that led to the parking lot? It should actually be on my desk. Can you check if it is? No, it's gone. Perhaps Reese Young took it last night. Jesus, bro, this is a lot of witnesses. I was just expecting a few people. So let's see. When the last time I spoke to Reese Young? Yesterday when I was leaving the office about 5:30. Let's see, so you left an hour later than Stuart Clark and Alice Reed. Yes, why? Reese Young asked me to prepare a report. It took longer than I expected. What kind of report? Last month's balance. How did he seem to you? Haven't noticed anything unusual. He was working on something on his computer. I left the papers on his desk and I dipped. Did he mention he was expecting any visitors? No, he didn't. Let's see, what were the papers? They were last month's figures. And are they still on his desk? I think I saw them on the desk where I left them. How long have you been working in Albatross Digital? About 2 years. Did he often ask for reports? No, it was the second time he did. What was the first? 2 months ago. Was there anything unusual about the last month's figures? No, everything seemed in order. So 2 months ago, some shit happened. I'm gonna write that in. Two months ago, witnesses. So I'll know, and I put that there just so I know to check that. So let's see. Okay, so was there anything? Yeah, so everything seemed in order. We make profits. Were you close to Reese Young? No. Oh, sorry. Reese Young was rather alone. He kept everything to himself. Where were you yesterday at 10:30 p.m.? At home. What were you doing in the evening? I had dinner and later watched TV. What was on TV? See Jake and Fat Man. Later I watched the news and went to bed. I don't know if that's gonna matter just because like they could just be on different TV channels. Can anyone verify this? My mother. You live with your mother? Yes. I have to take care of her after my father died a few years ago. She has a problem with walking, so. Did you ever have a firearm? No. Do you have the keys to the office 412? Each staff member has one. So let's see, we got Faith Hockley. And cool, so her shit's not crazy long. Where were you last night? We were out. And who are we? Me, I was reading a couple of girls I work with. And what were you doing? We went to the bar, had some drinks, had some laughs. Which bar? The Wooden Horse. What time you arrived there? At 7:30 p.m. I guess. What time you left the bar? I don't know. I was a bit tipsy when we were leaving. But can you give some estimate? I guess it was sometime after midnight. And Alice Reed was with you the whole time. Yes, as far as I remember. Cool. So we got Crystal Ferrant, the accountant's mother. Wait, what? Where's Therese for? Am I tripping? Oh wait, okay, so she gave me this one. Okay. Yeah, she was the one that told me about the profits. I'm tripping. Alright, so your daughter was home last night? Yes, the whole time. Yes, the whole time. What time? Wait, so what time did she return? 6 p.m. And you were with her the whole time? Yes. What were you doing? We had dinner and later watched TV. What was on? We always watched Jake and Fat Man on Thursdays. And then I went to bed. I had problems with my back and can't stay up for long. What time you went to bed? Soon after the show ended, so 8 p.m. I think. And after 8 p.m. your daughter was at home the whole time? Yes. How can you be certain since you were in bed? I could hear her driving away. Huh? That don't excuse her. So I guess every show is the same or something? Is this what we're going with? No, I'm kidding. I think she was mentioning that she was watching Jake and Fat Man. So let's continue on with this. So we got Keith Sullivan, the real estate agent. Do you know Mr. Young? Yes, I have a meeting with him on Monday. I'm afraid he won't make it. He was killed last night. Killed. He phoned you yesterday. Yeah, we spoke yesterday. Why he contacted you? To set up a meeting on Monday. He was supposed to sign a lease on an office space. An office space? Yeah, he hired me to find an office somewhere downtown. When he hired you? A few weeks ago. You found him... Wait, and you found his office? Oh wait, you found him in the office? Yes. Where? Cherry 5 Hill Terrace. Do you know why he needed the office? No idea. He gave me instructions of what kind of location he was looking for, how big, and what his spending limit was. Okay. And what were the instructions? Small office for one person with a reception area and room for meetings with customers. It was important that it be somewhere downtown. And he visited the office once you found it. Yes, we went there a couple days ago. We had an appointment on Monday to sign the lease. You have no idea what he was planning to do with the office. No, sorry. It was hard to guess what he was thinking. He didn't say much. Alright, cool. So now we're gonna talk to Matt Hoffman. Let's see. Do you know Reese Young? No. You spoke to him yesterday. Wait, have I? He called you at 1 p.m. Okay, do you recall the conversation? Not really. I have a dozen of calls every day. I can't remember them all the time. So it was a business call. Yeah, yesterday I had a few business calls around 1. All of them about the office furniture and office equipment. He might have mentioned the 25 Cherry Terrace location. Sorry, it doesn't ring a bell. So if he spoke to you yesterday, it must have been about the office furniture equipment. Yeah. So now we got bartender. You had a late shift last night? Yes. Do you know Alice Reed or Faith Hockley? No. Have you noticed yesterday 4 girls drinking in a bar until midnight or past midnight? I don't know, man. There were many people here last night. They said they spent a few hours here. Can't say I've noticed anyone in particular. How about your waitresses? I don't know. Ask Diane Joyce. She was working yesterday until midnight. All right, finally we got the last person here. So Diane Joyce, have you worked yesterday around midnight? Yes. Do you know Alice Reed or Faith Hockley? I know Faith Hockley. She came here from time to time. Have you seen her here yesterday? Yes. Was she with someone? Yeah, they sat at the corner table. Do you remember who was with her? No, 3 girls. I don't know them. Would you recognize them? No, I don't think so. There were so many customers here last night. But do you remember if they sat together the whole time? No, I don't think so. But I didn't have time to keep track of all those people. Do you remember when the girls left? Yeah, about 11 a.m. I remember because Faith Hockley was rather loud when they were leaving. But when they were leaving, were there 4 of them? Yes. Alright. So let me just see here. Might as well just load up face too. So she's saying 4. Where's Alice Reed here? So alright, so now we're gonna go into the evidence here. And then I'm gonna start breaking down shit more. So let's see, fingerprints A. The fingerprints identified as those of Terry's front were found on the desk, close to the report papers. That suggests that Terry's front leaned on the edge of the desk while she was leaving the papers. Cool, so she's okay for now. So these ones belonging to him were found on the edge of the door to the office. Their location suggests that he put his right hand on the open door and most probably leaning over the doorstop from corridor into office. There are no other prints on the door. And it was wiped clean. Alright. All fingerprints found on Reese's office next to the computer on the keyboard belong to the victim. Cool. On the light switch and Reese Young's, we found only the fingerprints of Peter Lawrence. Yeah, no shit. On the surfaces of the cabinets in the kitchenette located between 2 private offices, there were fingerprints of all the staff, especially Alice Reed. So in the kitchen, oh wait, I can link to testimonies. Oh, okay, I get it. Let's keep it moving. So fingerprints found. So that's E. F is, let's see, inside steward Clark private office, we found the fingerprints of Alice Reed and Stuart Clark. Alice left fingerprints on the inside surface of the door, close to the door handle. Fingerprints of Stuart Clark were on the surface, mostly on his desk surface and the cabinet inside the desk where the alcohol is kept. His fingerprints were on the bottles and the glasses. Huh. So she did actually drink with this man. So in the front office, we found fingerprints of Alice Reed on on their workplaces and surrounding. Fingerprints were found on the receptionist's desk. There were no fingerprints on Reese Young on the phone switchboard. There were a few desk surfaces in the Stuart Clark. There were a few on the desk surface in Stuart Clark private office. Okay. So they're saying that these belong to Stuart. So now we got the car evidence. This the victim's car? A Volvo. I don't care about the year. The car was parked on the car park attached to 16. So this is his car. Checking the inside revealed only fingerprints of Reese Young. Who in the car only contained the spare wheel and basic tools. Alright. So let's see. Fingerprints. Unknown fingerprints were on the dashboard. The boot contained small drops of a white substance identified as a mixture of lime and sand, similar to lime plaster. Okay, so he had the plaster. So, found on the parking lot attached to, this is hers. So since Peter Lawrence used chemical agents to get rid of the white substance spilled on that, we were unable to determine the precise formula, but most likely the white substance was a very watery solution. Okay. Similar to plaster used in the building. Available in any hardware store. Okay. Was in the parcel. So let's see. Okay, so after opening by the owner, content parcels manuals by him. Alright. Victim's house report. We searched the house belonging to the victim, but found nothing useful in the investigation and no clear signs of any violence taking place in the household, like bloodstains or any damage to the interior or exterior. We searched the room and was using his study. We searched the room was using as a study. In the desk drawers, we found several notebooks containing different notes about program solutions. The company used by the victim contained only different versions of that, but the latest of them was from December 1992. I said 92-91. We have found a version of Vector Solutions 1.0, but we were unable to determine how the company Vector Solutions would be linked to the victim. We also did not find any traces of such a company being registered in the United Kingdom. It looks like Reese Young and Sarah Young were sleeping in the separate bedrooms, but nothing else in the house would suggest problems in their relationships. Quite recent photos from their holiday in Spain were found in the living room on the mantelpiece. We've searched the garage but found nothing that could be useful. So co-owner's house report. Search, but found nothing useful. Any investigation. Yeah, because I'm not trying to bore y'all with the specifics here. House was attached to the garage, but we did not find anything that would suggest anything in violence. Okay. The rear of the house was recently renovated. How recent was that? On a computer belonging to Stuart Clark, we did not find anything that would be useful in the investigation. None of the contents were related to work. It seemed that he was quite active on the dating sites, but none of the email or activities on the internet was linked to this. Okay. The accountant's house search report. We searched the house belonging to. Okay. Okay, here we go. Bullet and bullet wounds. Both bullets found in the victim were shot from the same gun, a 9mm caliber, widely used in many types of handguns. Since we don't have the shell cases, we can only speculate. But since the bullets lost most of the impact while colliding with the bones, it would suggest low gunpowder cartridge or shots from long distance. Lack of the gunpowder residue on the victim's clothes suggests that the shots were fired from at least 2 meters away, which would put the shooter in the doorway of the office or further away from the victim. The longest distance available inside the office would be around 7 meters while shooting through the open doors from the office belonging to Stuart Clark. But at that distance, the accuracy would be much lower and it would be too risky for the shooter. The bullets entered the victim almost horizontally. So the trajectory of the bullets suggests that the shots were fired by someone of a height similar to the victim or slightly shorter. Also suggests that the shots were fired from a distance between 2 and 3 meters away. Accuracy suggests that most likely the shooter had previous experience with firearms. Let's see, phone calls. List the incoming calls from Reese Young's phone extension. Okay, so he called Solid Group. At 12. He calls, yeah, 12 he calls Central. At 16, let's see, 23 is 11. Bro, that's how faded I am. I was going forward instead of reverse. Wait, there's 7 numbers. 11, 10, 8, 7, 6, 5. Yeah, so around dinner time. Okay. So that's irrelevant. I was like, that's what I was wondering. I was like, yo, this is a little too early still. So let's see here. Bank statements. His ain't no way, bro. His current balance is 73,000. So this was around the time they was talking to each other, right? I guess that's his profit, so he made like 32 for that day. Let's see, so let's see. Debit, he used 180 for software. So I'm assuming the debit is like his business card, but then his credit is his personal. So yeah, see, because credit card, weekly payment for office space, yeah, credit card again. Even though technically that should be business, software business, service of card H203. he used his personal bread. Restaurant bill, 120. Okay, so I got a little bit of stuff to read there. So let's see here. Life insurance. See, guaranteed payout of £500,000 in the case of his death. Death caused by natural causes. Sudden death caused by land. Okay. It did not cover caused by aviation, sport accident, suicide, caused by criminal acts of other people. Wait. Death caused by criminal acts of other people. Huh. So wait, even if dude did kill him, so this only natural causes malfunction, diseases with exclusion of pre-existing conditions and national disaster. So he wasn't going to get the money. Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, Stewart wasn't going to get the money. So wait, this is insurance B, life insurance of Sarah, guarantee paid out 500. Case of natural causes, sudden death caused by disease, and it didn't cover the same thing. Police technicians have checked the contents of Reese Young computer that was found in his office. It seems that he was using it for professional purposes only. On the hard disk, we found several versions of the Omni program that was the main product of the company. Okay. Because this is just smart stuff. This is just smart stuff for saying, so back in the day, floppy disk used to be like a business's like bread and butter when it came to like the different data and stuff that's stored on it. So the different information and stuff for like the companies and all the other whatever super corporate stuff that's on it used to just be the flash. I said the flash drives, the floppy disk. So some of them had programs on them as well. So I'm assuming yeah, it was dated. It was not going on with the project. What? It was dated on 1912. Wait, does this matter? Yeah, of course he would have different versions of it, cause sorry about that. Yeah, but of course he'd have different versions of it, cause he's the maker of it. See, we found additional material in directory protected by a password. After surpassing the protection, we found a different program similar to Albatross, but available versions called the Vector 1.0. So far, we've been unable to find any information about this company called Vector Solutions. There are no signs of the company being registered in the United Kingdom. We've checked content of email accounts of Reese Young, but it seems he mainly used them to retrieve newsletters from IT news message boards. Although we haven't found any signs. Okay, cool. So this is the ask the game master question. Wait, ain't it the same as the informant? So then it looks like I gotta just go one at a time here. And then solid group. What is solid group? So that's the name. That's their name. Cool. And who's City Central? Office equipment was Matt Huff. Huh? Oh, okay, it's 43. Well, what's this man's height? 6'1". So he was. Hold on, victim. Reese Young is 6'4". So I'm gonna just keep that in mind. Albatross deployments. Oh, cool. So let's see. So off the rip is not y'all, cause y'all. Wow, she's actually. Yeah, never mind. She's pretty tall. Same with. Oh my God, yo, y'all are pretty tall. Wait. And this is her car. Wait, does Alice Reed drive? The flat. Okay. Stuart Clark is 6'1". So he's at decent height. Cause they're saying like the person would have been like shorter or about his same height. But the thing is, it's like alright, so that's cool. Patient Grove Lane, office building. Argyle Star. Oh, Argyle Star is the office equipment. So wait, Argyle Star is linked to this company. For what reason? That's what I'm saying. Like, for what reason is that linked? Let me see this man's testimony again. Cause he's Argyle Star, right? 1 p.m. So he had a call at 1 p.m. And real estate agent. I'm gonna look that up in a second. So let's see what's up with this. They just gave me a building description, no picture. Alright. There we go, Keith. So he hired him a few weeks ago. Hmm. Okay, let's go back to more of this evidence here. Okay, why they got this here? Huh? Oh, she's a police investigator. Wait, the fuck? Dr. Justin Lloyd. Why are all y'all 6'4" like out of nowhere? That's crazy. Alright, so so I'm pretty sure. Here's the thing with Stewart. I'm pretty sure he read the report. As much as I want to like just outright put it on, like put this whole crime on man's, it's like. Hmm. So they all signed their shit in '92, right? '22 of '92. Wait, '22 of '92. This is this is when the interview was. So, oh wait, no, that's the date. Oops, I'm reading the wrong thing. So on the 11th of November 1991, this was signed. I think I'm reading that right. And that's of '91. So he called Central for that parcel, pretty much, I guess. And then he called Solid like around the time he's eating. And around the time he's eating, that's also when what's the name was there too. Let's read. Old enough to be her father. How old is Alice Reed? Oh, she's 29. I mean, that don't mean shit. I'll take over his shares. That was the clause in the agreement. She won't be getting anything. No, we're both the owners. So he obviously don't know about the will. Yeah, he doesn't know about the will. Hmm. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. I need to see some of these folks' heights and stuff. He's 5'10". Five eight. Jordan Burley is 5'10". So if we're going off of height, oh wait, this is the man who found the body. My fault. Yeah, he's 5'11". So alright. Okay, here we go. I was like, where's this man Stuart Clark at? He's 6'1". So he's actually close to him in height. So there are no other prints on the door. Handle was wiped clean. And he also has the substance. So he was cleaning up floors like a few weeks back. So I would. It's crazy because they say all the evidence is here, so. 2 months ago, witnesses. Yeah. I don't remember. Yeah, one real chatterbox. What are you talking about? Just small talk, yeah. He's leaving the floor when I finish the stairs. Was he alone? Yeah, he was just leaving the floor when I finished the stairs. And it was late. Yeah, as usual, between 11 and midnight. When you cleaned the office that night, there wasn't anyone inside? No. Alright. So something happened. World's red. Oh, he's the cleaning company owner. Okay, so this guy I don't got like no. He's 5'11". Okay. So let's see here. About 9 months now. There are people in the building at the same time. Takes care of the top 2 floors. Another one cleans the floor in the 3rd floor, while the 3rd is taking care of the lobby and the front entrance. But nobody's taking care of the parking lot. It takes them about 30 to 40 minutes. Alright, let me put that in note 2. Maybe 40 minutes. No parking. Stairway. Yeah, because they said nothing about the parking lot stairways. So I'll save that. Just in case, I'll probably just copy this. Alright, there we go. Alright. So Monday, Thursdays, yes. So they had to take the keys from the night porter. And what I say about Jordan? We usually get around the same times to the stairs. So I heard him vacuum. When I finished my part of the stairs, I heard him swearing while he was scrubbing something. So when the vacuum, duh, Floss. That's when he died. He died when the vacuum cleaner was on. He was only get the keys he needs to access the offices he will be cleaning. Each of us gets only the keys he needs to access the floor. So he was leaving the office when I finished the stairs. Alright, so I was able to get something out of that. And that was the fact that, like, I now know when those gunshots run. Which is the building where you... Yeah, okay. It does. And he cleans the ground. So let me see here. 16 girl line. 6-1. Alright, between 9, it's someone there, 2 bucks. Private offices, shine. Wrong person. Yeah, because they're all too short. I gotta get those ballistics again. But yeah, so far... I'm trying to get these other folks real quick. Ian Thompson. What does Ian Thompson have to do with shit? He's a bartender. He has nothing to do with this. Alright, who else I got? Keith Sullivan. Okay, so he's 6'3". Alright, so I'm about reached the end of this. Yes, we went there a couple of days ago. We had an appointment on Monday to discuss the lease. Phone calls. One PM. Yeah, okay. Alright, so I think I pretty much got this solved. Oh, I knew it was something. They got the they don't have the ballistics. Okay, here we go. Ballistics. So bullets. Both lost impacts and gunpowder. The longest distance available inside the office will be around 7 meters from belonging to Mr. Clark. So the bullets entered the victim almost horizontally. Wait, experience with a firearm. Bro, I'm such an idiot. Not literally. I don't literally mean that. But, it's whatever. But, I figured it out. Bro, that shut down the. I got this whole thing figured out. That's it. So 2 months ago, Mr. Chad boxed himself. And the crazy thing is, he can actually do it because he's done it before. And he knows usually when these guys are cleaning. So, the last part evidence. Door, let's see, door handle. Let's see, door handle. I'll put door handle shot. I remember it. Um, and he's 6'1". Two months ago, motive. And I want to say we're done here. I just don't know what the full on reason for him, him finding out the company. That's the one thing I got to tie in. We're almost done here. So last thing I just have to tie in is Keith here. Keith. So he could have heard it. Set up a meeting on Monday. He would go sign a new lease to the office space. He hired me to find it, and that was a few weeks ago. Alright, and I think that's about it. So, because I'm not about to waste some free premiums when I can just get the answer later on and shit. We don't need it. I pretty much got this pretty much down to a T, solved to a T. So. Oh yeah, no one saw him leave. Alright, so I guess now we can piece this together. So I'm assuming about two months ago, a couple weeks ago, whatever, right? Those two get Young and Stewart. Yeah, Young the victim and Stewart get into an argument or whatever, right? Actually, no, not even. I got some. Yeah, they probably get into an argument or some shit, right? So I guess we could do a follow up and check on the relationship for that part. But my assumption is either he at some point Stewart finds out about him wanting to leave, right? That's the main thing. He finds out about him wanting to leave. Shit. That's when he found the body. He used the vacuum in front of the office at 412, so we were unable to determine if there were any marks on the carpet. But Lawrence did not notice anything unusual that he discovered a few minutes after his arrival. So yeah, going by that actual time is not the greatest of things. The door to the office was wide open, lights were out. Yeah, if you got a key, you can get out. So that's like the one thing that's confusing me here. Let's go back to Jordan's testimony here. About 10:30. See, what time was this? About 10:30, yeah. Have you seen him? No. Not really. I heard him usually get around the same time, so I heard his vacuum. And then I finished my part of the stairs. I heard him swearing while he was scrubbing something. So in office, which was the first one clean? It's closest to the stairs here. Wait, because it's closest to the stairs? But he was late. Yeah, but he was late that time. So when he's using the vacuum, bam. Yeah. Alright, and then let me see the floor plan again. I didn't mean to like keep this running. I was trying to get out of here already. I need that floor plan here. So see, it's the thing that's fucking me up here. Okay, so let's say he kills him, right, and goes down the steps. And let's say homie's on the third floor when he turned on the vacuum, right? Vacuuming, bang, bang. Runs down steps, possibly runs up steps. Uses whatever to, because he had blood on him. Or it could have been premeditated as well, right? But regardless, yeah, cleans as he's walking down these steps. And that's why the solution is there. And then he walks out. Yeah. Okay, so that's how that happened. So, because that's the one thing I'm trying to I'm trying to get when does Stuart Clark find out, and I guess because like so far from evidence, like it seems like he's known for a long time, but like the purest of evidence says he finds out around that same time. And I'm assuming he goes up this way. So I need other people's accounts here. I need the night shift porters. What was in the parcel? What was in this shit? After being open, after opening by the Stargo owner, the content of the parcel proved to be. That's the office. It's the office equipment. Okay. Uh, so his window of opportunity would have been 9 o'clock to do all that, and then be able to leave. Said that was policy. Policy was bull. All right, so as far as like the reason, I don't like completely see the valid reason. Maybe when I finish reevaluating this case, then all right, so let's see. What was I saying? So I got the time when he could have came in, and time he could have committed the murder. But yeah, like I gotta get the full understanding of what like what transpired. Like, why this even happen? I get like the motive, but it's like, when did he find out about him leaving? When did, like, questions like that I have to like just look into, or I might like ask. And I do kind of want to see. I'm hoping they provide like a full like solution on this, and hopefully I can actually share that. I don't know if I can. I don't want to start doing this and then, like, let's say the game somehow becomes popular and now folks is like not getting a chance to play it because they're being spoiled. So yeah, trying to be fair with that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I got the whole thing solved. I got the who, I got the how, and I got the why. Because the thing is like, that's why he had those chemicals, because he knew those chemicals possibly like clean off like all the stuff with the guns and stuff. And then not only that, I thought about it too. If the cleaner did do it, he would have had stuff on him, because he probably wouldn't have had time to like clean any of that up like on himself. So yeah, with that, I'd like to thank y'all for rocking with me, Foster Gamer, Foster Gamer. And I'll catch y'all, love y'all, and peace out. Peace out.